I don't know if everybody's noticed, but over the weekend, we've had a lot of noise around the Aliens Enemies Act of 1798 and Trump enacting it again. This comes alongside with the Lincoln-Riley Act to deport illegal immigrants that are convicted criminal offenders. I don't know why a lot of people are against this. I can tell you that if we sit back and we look at fundamental examples, I always worry about these type of things being turned on American citizens. But I do have to say, I don't understand why there is any opposition to actually getting rid of illegal immigrants that are not supposed to be in this country in the first place, especially if they've created serious criminal offenses. They shouldn't even have had the opportunity to commit these crimes in this country. And there are people being murdered and burglarized because of people that are not supposed to be here in the first place. And I get it. Everybody wants to be a humanitarian. But when it happens to somebody that you know or a family member, you think otherwise. Again, I can tell you from personal example that coming into this country when my parents came here, there was a whole different process. You were ashamed to come here illegally. You were ashamed to be on government assistance. You weren't allowed to come into this country unless you had another family willing to sponsor you. When my parents escaped Czechoslovakia under communist rule in '82, they had to wait a whole year before they could even make it to the United States. And one of the fundamental things they needed is somebody, a family, that would be financially responsible for them. Today, we just think we can spend tax dollars like it grows on trees. Either way, crazy. So the important message about this video is that Trump has been using airlines to deport illegal aliens that have committed serious crimes, specifically from groups like Tren de Aragua. Now, there's a lot of arguments against this, especially from the humanitarian perspective. But the most credible question I've seen asked to Tom Homan, which is the border czar for the Trump administration, is how can anyone be okay with Trump enacting a law from 200 years ago? And his response was, the Constitution is older than that, and we follow that. And I think that's a great point. And I think that's the way things need to be dealt with. A lot of our legislation from our past is very good. It was written by very intelligent men that dealt with much harsher times than we do today. I think there's a reason for fundamental laws from which we build upon this society. And I think the Alien Enemies Act is an important one to use if it can be used the right way. I just hope at some point it doesn't get used against American citizens. I don't know why anybody opposes this legally, but there are district judges like U.S. District Judge James Boasberg, who blocked Donald Trump from being able to continue this and demanded that criminals that have already been deported to those countries be taken back here. Insane. I don't know what anybody's thinking. My only fear always is that in some case, sometime down in the future, it'll be used against U.S. citizens, just like the Patriot Act. Outside of that, right now, with the chaos and the crimes that we've had in this country, we need to take deliberate, precise actions to help create a better foundation for this country. I understand the arguments against this. I understand the arguments for this. Something needs to happen. Because what has gone on in the past administration with allowing all of these people to come here and just consume and take from the federal government tax money that should be going to infrastructure and people within this country that need it. And if you think you feel bad about poor children in other countries, go into your poorer neighborhoods in this country, in these states, in these cities that you are from. You can find children that are starving. In fact, one of the most important informations about why children don't succeed in schools is because they do not have food. So why are we not funneling money more towards our educational system instead of giving it to everybody else? I want everybody to understand, if we can't help ourselves, there'll be nobody here in the future able to help us and everybody else that everybody wants to help aside from us.